Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hi, and welcome to episode 232 of Total Retail Talks. I'm Joe Keenan, Executive Editor of Total Retail. Joining me today is Laurie Simpter, Senior Manager of Customer Relations at Pier Imports, an omnichannel retailer of unique, decorative home furnishings, decor, and gifts. We're going to be discussing how Pier is transforming its customer service operations through the use of messaging. Thanks for joining me, Laurie.
Thank you so much, Joe. I appreciate it.
So let's start by talking a little bit, and this question doesn't have to be specific to Pier 1, obviously your experience there with the company, but let's talk a little bit about the challenges that exist for Pier 1 and other retailers in terms of customer service phone calls. What are kind of the issues that they present for the company?
I think phone calls for everybody, the biggest challenges that most retailers face is how you staff for phone. It is really hard to provide adequate staffing when you really don't know when those phone calls are coming in, and immediate response channel. That customer is on the phone, they want somebody to answer and provide them with a lot of information or solve their issue. The other challenge with phone is you can only take one of those at a time. So it's a very, very expensive channel to maintain. And those are the two biggest things that we struggle with, as well as a lot of businesses in corresponding just via phone call.
I would imagine, to your first point around kind of the peak periods right now, this, or having just come out of the holiday period, it's times like those where you're kind of challenged in terms of having the right amount of staffing on hand.
Absolutely, and you just can't hire enough people for those peaks a lot of times, because then you're way overstaffed on the valleys, and that's just not being efficient with your payroll. So it is a really, really hard channel to manage.
So one of the solutions that Pier Imports has put into place, and I alluded to this in the intro, is the use of messaging to kind of address this. You want to tell us a little bit about what you're doing there?
Absolutely. We added text messaging to our channel portfolio a couple of years ago. We've been live about 2 years now, and it has been really a great, great addition. One of the things it allows us to do is the customer isn't necessarily expecting that immediate response. So it allows us to sort of artificially level out our workload throughout the day so we can keep staffing a little bit more consistent.
Maybe you want to tell us a little bit about the technology that you're using you're working with, like an automated, sending automated messages to right away, and then you can follow up. And you tell us a little bit about how it works?
Absolutely. Yes, we are using a platform called Quick that integrates with our CRM system. So everything comes in to a singular place. We have that 360-degree view of those customer contacts. One of the recent things that we just added is we actually added some AI virtual assistants at the beginning of that SMS conversation. Not only does the customer get that immediate response to say, hey, I got your message, but we also then kick off that virtual assistant to start doing some basic information gathering to find out the customer's name and the customer's phone number or email address, and then why they're reaching out to us, and getting just those initial pieces of information so that a live agent actually takes over that conversation. They have everything they need, and they can provide a very, very rapid response.
And I would imagine going forward, if you start to see common questions and that you are able to program a chatbot or using that AI technology, you might be able to cut off some of the customer service questions right at the beginning if you have a frequently asked question that you can provide an answer to right away.
Absolutely. We are just getting into the virtual assistant realm, and you can continue to expand that and find those places that you want to allow that virtual assistant to completely handle that interaction by providing, whether it be an FAQ document or whether it be going out and grabbing information on order status. There are a lot of ways we now can continue to build on that so that we are expediting the answer to the customer without negatively impacting their overall experience.
Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to talk a little bit about is kind of the staffing itself. Your team of customer service agents. So they've been trained to be on the phone with these people and go over the customers' questions and problems and kind of have that interaction. So text messaging, obviously another format, it's another form of communication, but it's a different kind of channel. What kind of level of training and kind of education have you had to provide your agents in terms of messaging rather than, handling a customer service question via phone call?
Training really was one of the easiest pieces of this because I think certainly our agents as well as our customers, they text with their family and friends every single day. So it is a natural communication channel that everybody uses. So training our agents on how to use this messaging channel was really, really seamless. And we allowed them some freedom to utilize their personality or really enhance their personality in those interactions while sort of staying within guidelines to make sure that they're representing the brand well. But it is a natural communication channel for our agents and our customers, so training was simple.
How about, going back to the types of questions that you might be receiving, are there some already that you've identified and said, yes, these are the types of questions that we feel like we can better answer via, when I say better, more quickly and easily answer via messaging versus, maybe a customer question or a customer complaint that you think is better suited for a phone conversation? Kind of talk a little bit about the process there and how you're identifying, which goes into which channel.
Yeah, we actually don't restrict our customers when they message us to what types of reasons or issues they might message us about. We did have a lot of preconceived notions of what customers would use messaging for, and the customers quickly proved us wrong on all of those. We get very, very similar mix of messages about issues across the board. We thought that people would use messaging for those quick hits, those quick answers, and that's not the case. We get the same types of issues via messaging as we do via our other channels, chat or phone or email.
So let's talk about the customer experience. One, how are they finding out that this capability, this option exists? I would imagine there's something on the Pier 1 Imports website. You're emailing your customers at post-purchase saying that this customer service option is available. Social media. How do they know that they can message the company? And then the second part of that is, what's kind of their reaction been? Are you seeing more customers that are transitioning into text messaging versus calling?
Yeah, we as a company, we made the decision that we didn't want to force customers down certain channels. I know a lot of companies do that, and that's great if that's your business decision. That's wonderful. As a company, we decided we wanted to just provide our customer the option. So we thought about that experience. Obviously, we're not going to offer text messaging on a desktop website experience because you're not going to be messaging unless we added a messaging service such as, Facebook Messenger or something like that. So we offer that as an option to contact us on the mobile version only. However, we do prioritize that and list that first. We want that to be the very first way that a customer sees that they can contact us if they have a question or an issue. And then we give them other options as well. So it's publicizing it, it's making it available. And then we do have an option in our IVR that if our hold times reach a certain threshold, we are allowing customers one click on their phone to transfer that phone call to a text message. So that is deferring a lot of our phone volume, particularly this time of year as we go into our busy peak season at holiday. That has been a real lifesaver for us, and we're actually deferring a lot of phone calls to text messages, which is a much more efficient, cost-effective channel for us.
And then my next question, Laurie, would be in terms of identifying the business benefits that Pier 1 Imports has realized since it shifted more of its customer service communications to messaging. I imagine more efficient staffing, customer response times, an improvement there. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of the benefits you've realized?
Sure. Yeah, efficiency is the number one thing, and cost. The cost of messaging, of a text message, is about half of what a phone call is, and it's actually a little bit less than half now that we have that virtual assistant gathering a lot of the information that we would. So from a cost perspective, it's paid for itself many times over again. From a customer experience standpoint, our customers love the channel. We have a unique customer base that loves to send pictures to us, and there's a lot of great benefits in receiving pictures from our customers. Not only does it help us to be able to provide decorating advice, it might help us to be able to identify an item that they're trying to match or replace, or even thinking about a shipment that we might have sent a customer. If there's damage, we can get that immediate feedback of what caused the damage or where the damage was and share that with various business partners throughout the organization. And our customers know how to attach those pictures to a text message on their phone. They do it all the time, once again, as they're corresponding with friends and family members. So that has been another great benefit. It's just a great customer experience and a channel that they are comfortable with and familiar with. It provides us a lot of information that we might not have received in the past, and then cost effective.
Yeah, to that point, it's a learning tool for Pier 1, I would imagine. You're gaining all this valuable data from the interactions you're having with customers via text message.
Absolutely, and you know, they've always the saying is a picture's worth 1,000 words. It absolutely is. Some of those the immediate response we can get with a picture is fantastic, and that really allows us to react a lot more quickly to business needs.
Yeah, and that's hard to replicate through a phone call, so that's a great point. So my final question, Laurie, is kind of just looking ahead a little bit. What are some of the other ways that Pier 1 Imports is planning to use technology to improve the service experience for its customers? You talked about kind of you're just scratching the surface a little bit with kind of the capabilities that AI is going to provide. Are there some other things that you have in the works?
Yeah, I think just really expanding on that AI channel is the biggest thing for us, continuing to not sacrifice the customer experience, but looking at ways that we can provide better and faster information to our customers. I think our customers, any customer really expects us to know more than they do and wants that information very quickly. So the faster we can get information or provide that self-service option or provide AI to be able to get that answer to you 24/7 is really the path that we want to start focusing on, and how do we continue to expand that.
Great. Well, I want to take this opportunity to thank Laurie Simpter of Pier 1 Imports for joining me today. Please check out our podcast channel page, mytotalretail.com/podcast for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and Stitcher, but make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. Also, please take the time to rate and review this podcast. Thanks, and I look forward to you joining us on the next episode of Total Retail Talks.